If you lose the internet, just inform me. Okay. Okay. So yesterday we have dealt with the what is meant by a laminar flow, what is meant by turbulent flow, and the Reynolds experiment, how it is done. Okay, the Reynolds experiment where we can see the fluid is whether the fluid flow is laminar, turbulent, or in the transition state. And we have even got the equation that is R equal to rho Vd by mu, which is got from the Reynolds experiment. Okay, so where rho is the density, v is the velocity, d is the diameter of the pipe through which the fluid is flowing, and mu is the dynamic viscosity. Okay, so therefore, from this the expression we can find out the Reynolds number, which should be between for a laminar flow it should be below 2000. If it is above 4000, it is a turbulent flow, and if it is in between this, the Reynolds number, that it means that it is transition. It's the transition state from laminar to turbulent. So I've told you that when a fluid wants to be laminar, get converted laminar to turbulent, the velocity should increase, the diameter should increase, and the viscosity should decrease. Okay, these are the things which we have discussed yesterday in yesterday's class. Okay, so today we'll be deriving an important derivation, that is laminar flow through circular pipe, given by the another name, that is Huygens-Poiseuille equation. So this equation and this whatever derivation is there, this is important from the exam point of view, and most of the time it has been asked in the exam. Okay, most of the time it has been asked in the exam, and as it is an important derivation, and it is a bit longer lengthy derivation, as we have different parameters to calculate. So we'll be seeing how to go through the derivation. So so we'll start the derivation now. So the heading is that laminar flow through circular pipe. So there is a circular pipe through which the fluid is flowing in a laminar way, or we can say laminar flow is flowing through the pipe. For the flow of a viscous fluid, as I have said, the laminar flow means the fluid is viscous. The fluid is viscous. The velocity distribution across the section, the ratio of maximum velocity to average velocity, the shear stress distribution, and drop of pressure in a given length is determined. For a given viscous fluid, we are going to determine from this derivation that the velocity distribution across the section, across the pipe, what is the velocity distribution, the ratio of the maximum velocity which is achieved in the fluid when it is flowing through the pipe, and the average velocity throughout the pipe. If this is the pipe, what is the average velocity which is flowing through each layer of the fluid, and what is the maximum velocity? I have told you that when the fluid is flowing through the pipe, the maximum velocity will be always at the center, and towards the wall it will be 0. Okay, and the shear stress distribution. So what is the shear stress at the walls? Shear stress at the walls. Fine. So now the expression for Reynolds number is Re equal to rho Vd by mu, where rho is the density of the fluid which is flowing through the pipe, V is the average velocity of fluid, D is the diameter of pipe, and mu is the viscosity of fluid. Okay, wait a second. Okay, so hope everyone is able to see the screen and I'm audible to everyone. Okay, so next, so this is a circular pipe. Okay, this is the front view, this is the side view. So in this circular pipe, the fluid is flowing, the laminar fluid is flowing through this. The laminar fluid is flowing through this. Okay, so laminar fluid is flowing through this. So this pipe or circular pipe diameter is having a diameter or a radius, we can say R, capital R, or we can say diameter D. Okay, so whose radius is capital R? Whose radius is capital R. Okay, in this fluid or in this fluid which is flowing through the pipe, I have taken a section in that is A, B, C, D. I have taken a section A, B, C, D. In this section A, B, C, D, so as I have told you that whenever we are taking a fluid or whenever taking a pipe and we want to consider the properties of the fluid which is flowing through this pipe. Okay, so I cannot consider the whole pipe and determine the property. I have to consider a section in the pipe. So I have considered a section of the fluid that is called as fluid element. This is called as a fluid element. This is called as a fluid element. Whatever I have considered, that is called as a fluid element. So it is a part of the fluid which is flowing through the pipe. So we are going to study on this now. So this part of the fluid which is we are calling it as a fluid element is of A, B, C, D. Of an section we have taken it as A, B, C, D, whose radius is small r, and you know the diameter is capital small d, okay, and its length is delta x. So we have considered another cylinder inside this circular pipe, which is having, so you can see from the side view, this is the cylinder. This is the section fluid element. This is the fluid element section. Okay, so now what is happening is the fluid is flowing like this in this direction, but we have considered another fluid element in this whole fluid layer. Sorry, in this whole fluid which is flowing through the circular pipe. In that I have considered a fluid element which is having ABCD as given. Okay, now so the pressure is acting on the face AB, that is P, and the pressure which is acting on face CD is P plus dou P by dou X into delta X. So this we have seen in while deriving the Bernoulli's equation. Because what happens is whenever the fluid moves from the length of at this point it will be 0, right? At this point it will be 0. At this point it will be delta X. Because the length is delta X, right? So it has moved some distance delta X. So the pressure will also increase. Okay. Therefore, so we have to there will be a change in pressure. So because of this change in pressure, there is P plus dou P by dou X into delta X into pi r square. This pi r square is nothing but the cross-sectional area of the pipe, circular pipe. Cross-sectional area of the circular pipe. Cross-sectional area of the circular pipe, that is given by pi by 4d square. Okay. So if you convert this into pi r square, it will convert this diameter into r, it will be pi r square. Or you can, if you convert r square into this, it will be pi by 4 t square. Okay. So this is the one point. Okay. So there is, I'll repeat it again for you all. So there is a circular pipe which is in which a viscous fluid is flowing. A viscous fluid is one which is having, which is a laminar flow. And that viscous fluid, in that we have considered a fluid element of radius small r. And this pipe is of diameter capital R or capital D. Okay. And on this fluid element, we are going to study our property. This fluid element is of radius small r and length delta x. On the pressure, on the face AB, we are facing pressure force, that is P into pi r square. On face CD, we are facing a pressure force of P plus dou P by dou X delta X into pi r square. Okay. But on the either side, we are facing a shear stress, that is tau into 2 pi r delta X. Because the fluid is flowing means it is facing a shear stress, because this pipe is fixed. This pipe is fixed, but the fluid is flowing. When the fluid is flowing, so as I have told you, when the fluid flows, the pipe is fixed. So the pipe will start creating a force on the resistance force on the fluid layer. That layer, that force is called as shear force. That leads to shear stress. Okay. So why it is 2 pi r? Because it is acting on the both sides of the pipe, here also and here also. Okay. Now, so by seeing the diagram, you can say, by seeing the diagram, so consider a pipe of radius r. The viscous fluid is flowing from left to right, from here to here, left to right, in the pipe as shown in figure. Consider a fluid element of radius r. Consider a fluid element of radius r sliding in a cylindrical fluid element of radius r plus dr. So it is flowing here in through this. Okay, it is flowing through this. R plus dr means this is r plus the thickness of the fluid element is dr. Let the length of the fluid element be delta x. If P is the intensity of pressure on face AB, then the intensity of pressure on face CD will be P plus dou P by dou X into delta X. On face CD will be P plus dou P by dou X into delta X. What will be the forces acting on the fluid element? As this is the pressure force, as this is the pressure force, as this is the pressure force, so pressure equal to force by area. So this force is nothing but pressure force. So pressure equal to force by area. Therefore, force equal to pressure into area. So what is the pressure acting on the face AB? The pressure acting on face AB will be P into pi r square. P into pi r square. Okay. On face CD, the pressure will be P plus dou P by dou X into delta X pi r square on face CD. Next, another force which is acting is the shear force which is acting on that fluid element. That is the shear force tau into 2 pi r delta X on the surface of the fluid element. So on the surface of the fluid element, there is one more shear force acting, that is tau into 2 pi r delta X. As there is no acceleration as the flow is steady, hence the summation of all the forces in the direction of flow must be equal to 0. As we are considering the flow to be steady, when the flow is steady, it means that it is with respect to time, it is velocity with respect to time is 0. If the velocity is 0, then we are saying that the acceleration is also 0. Therefore, if I consider this equation to be F equal to m into a, then this is the summation of all the forces which are acting on the fluid element equal to mass into acceleration, where acceleration is 0. Therefore, the whole term on the right hand side will be 0. Okay. So the equation will become like this. So on the face AB, it is P into pi r square minus. Why minus? Because it is acting in the opposite direction. You can see from the diagram. So this is acting in this direction and this is acting in the opposite direction. Minus P plus dou P by dou X into delta X into pi r square minus tau into 2 pi r delta X. Can anyone tell me the final equation for this? After simplifying it, please tell me fast, because the another it's a lengthy derivation and it will take time. So I have to finish it in this class itself. What will be the final equation? What will be the final equation? Anyone of you fast? So what will be remaining over here? If you multiply P into pi r pi square here and here, what will remaining? So P into pi r square is 1. Sorry. P into pi r square is 1 minus pi r square into P plus dou P by dou X into delta X pi r square. So this pi r square and this pi r square will get cancelled. Okay. Then what will remaining? Minus dou P by dou X, because if I take this minus inside, minus dou P by dou X delta X into pi r square minus tau into 2 pi r delta X equal to 0. So as we can see that both we have got an equation. So I'll take this whole term here. So it will be minus dou P by dou X delta X into pi r square equal to tau into 2 pi r delta X. So divide both the sides by delta X pi r, because that is common. So when I divide it, so what I will be getting? Dou P by dou X into r equal to tau into 2. Okay. So if I divide delta X into pi r, and here if I divide delta X into pi r, so delta X will get cancelled, pi will get cancelled, r will get cancelled, remaining will be tau into 2. Here what will remain? Here will be remaining with minus dou P by dou X and r, 1 r. Okay. So that will be minus dou P by dou X into r tau by 2. So shear stress is tau equal to minus dou P by dou X into r by 2. So this is our equation 1. This is our equation 1. Next. So what it says is the shear stress tau across a section varies with R. The shear stress tau across a section varies with R as dou P by dou X is in constant, as dou P by dou X across a section is constant. Hence, shear stress distribution across the section is linear. So as this remains constant, whatever minus dou P by dou X is constant. So it says that this tau is in relationship with R. Okay. So it has a relationship, it varies with R. It means that this is constant, tau varies with R. So there's a relationship in this which tau remains, sorry, dou P by dou X remains constant and R varies with tau, shear stress. So when the tau varies, so that shear stress distribution, whenever the fluid is flowing through the, what? Whenever the fluid is flowing through the circular pipe, which is the fluid is in a laminar flow and the fluid is less viscous. So this is the distribution of the fluid. So it means that at this point, the shear stress will be more at near the walls, but at the center, the shear stress will be 0. So here it is that with respect to the wall, the shear stress is maximum near the wall. At the center, the shear stress is 0. This is the shear stress distribution. This part, the whole, the A part is the shear stress distribution which is happening in a fluid, in a circular pipe through which a viscous fluid is flowing. Okay, so this is the one. So this is one part, that is shear stress distribution. So we have seen here. So what we have to derive? We have to derive the velocity distribution, the ratio of maximum velocity, average velocity, and the shear stress distribution. We have got now shear stress distribution. So now we'll go for the velocity distribution. How the velocity is distributed throughout the pipe. Okay. So now to obtain the velocity distribution across a section, the value of shear stress is what? Tau equal to mu du by dy. Why we are taking tau? Because we have got already its equation. So to obtain the velocity distribution, we are going for the equation that is tau equal to mu du by dy. This we have seen. Shear stress equal to dynamic viscosity divided by velocity into velocity gradient. That is the one. Next, what is there? But in the relation tau equal to mu du by dy, y is measured from the pipe wall. So we are measuring the y from the pipe. Okay, from the pipe we are measuring. At this it will be 0. I have told you. Whenever we are measuring the velocity distribution, we are measuring from the pipe, wall. So at the pipe wall, the velocity will be 0. At the pipe wall, the velocity will be 0. Therefore, y equal to what? R minus R. Why R minus R? Because this is R and this is the section in that. This is R and this is capital R. So this difference is y. The difference between these two is y. Equal to dy equal to minus dr. Differentiating this dy. I am differentiating with dy with respect to dr. So we are getting dy equal to 0 minus dr. So dy will become equal to minus dr. I have shown you differentiating dy equal to 0 minus dr. After differentiating, we get. So now I have to substitute the value of dy as minus r. So tau equal to mu du by minus dr. It will be minus mu du by dr. So substituting this value in equation 1, which we have got here, substitute the value of tau as minus du by minus mu. It is mu, okay, dynamic viscosity, mu du by dr. Don't get confused with, because what happens is this is mu, this is u, this is dynamic viscosity, this is alphabet u. If I write it like this, so it is mu, dynamic viscosity. Okay, so here it is dynamic viscosity minus mu du, velocity u, divided by dr. Okay, equal to minus dou P by dou X into R by 2 from the equation 1. I have substituted the value here. So from this, du by dr equal to minus dou P by dou X, as this and this minus will get become positive. So it will be du by dr equal to 1 by 2 mu. So this mu will come here. So 1 by 2 mu dou p by dou x into r. So if we integrate the above equation with respect to r, if I integrate it, it will be u equal to 1 by 4 mu dp by dou p by dou x into r square by, it would have been r square by 2. So I have multiplied this 2 with this 2. So it is completely 4. Okay. So u equal to 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x r square plus c. So how it is integrated is, so it will be u equal to 1 by 2 mu dou p by dou x r square by 2 plus c. So this, what happens is this 2 I have multiplied with this 2. Okay. So that's why it is 1 by 4 mu. Okay. 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x r square plus c. This is equation 2. Now, where c, whatever, when we integrate, we get a constant of integration, that is c, and its value is obtained from the boundary condition that when r equal to r and u equal to 0, whenever r is equal to capital R, that time velocity is 0. That time velocity is 0. When r equal to capital R, it means that when the small fluid element radius is equal to the capital R, that is the circular pipe radius, then the velocity will be 0. As I have told you, near the wall, the velocity will be 0. So now substitute u as 0 and substitute 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x. Here instead of small r, we are putting r square, because the condition is that small r equal to capital R, then only u equal to 0. So u equal to 0, that is 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x r square plus c. Okay. Next. So c equal to minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x r square. Okay, this is the equation for what we got for c. Now substitute this value of c in equation 2. So when we substitute, it will be 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x r square plus bracket of minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x into r square. So when I remove the bracket, it will be like this. So 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x into r square minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x r square. So when we take a common of 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x, it will be r square minus r square. But r square being the larger radius compared to the small r square, so we are taking a negative sign here outside. So it will be r square minus r square. Okay. Now, so in equation 3, what is constant? The values of dou p by dou x, mu and r are constant, because r is constant because the circular pipe, whatever we have taken, its radius will be constant. We are not able to change the radius. We are not going to change the radius. Okay, but we can change the radius of the fluid element. So it means that whatever velocity is there, it has to vary with the square of r. Whatever velocity is there, it has to vary with the square of r, means this one. So this r, capital R, dou p by dou x and mu are constant, but the small r it varies with, the velocity varies with the small r. So this gives to an equation that is an equation of parabola, y equal to 4ax square. So y is u, x square is r. So that is shown, the velocity distribution is shown here. So first one, A, was the shear stress distribution, and the second one, B, is the velocity distribution. So here it means that in this equation, it means that at the center, or in this diagram, it means that at the center of the pipe or circular pipe, the fluid is moving with maximum velocity, but near to the wall, the velocity is 0. The velocity is 0. So near to the wall it is 0. It is going on increasing. At the center it is maximum, and again when it moves, it is tending towards the wall, circular pipe wall, then the velocity goes on decreasing. So this is obtained by the expression from this. Okay, as u increases, r square increases. U varies with r. Okay, so these are the two one. One is velocity distribution and shear stress distribution. So one more is to find the ratio of maximum velocity to the average velocity. So I have told you that maximum velocity is always at the center. Maximum velocity is at the center. Okay. Then okay. Next, the velocity is maximum when r equal to 0 in equation 3. When this r will become 0, then we can say that the velocity is maximum. When r equals to 0, we can say that the velocity is maximum. How we can say that velocity will be maximum when r equal to 0, small r equal to 0? Anyone? I'll say that velocity will be maximum when small r, not capital R, when small r will become 0. How? When this small r, see, velocity will be maximum when r is equal to 0. Why? Because if r equal to 0, the fluid is flowing at the center. The fluid is flowing at the center when r equal to 0. Therefore, at that point, the velocity will be maximum. Therefore, at that point, wait a second. Okay. See here. So at this point, that is small r, why I'm telling this is, see here, what I have written here, that velocity will be maximum at the center or r equal to 0. Okay. So when r will become 0, it will be at the center, right? Center of the whole circular pipe, that is here, and r will become equal to 0, it will be at the center, right? So when r equal to 0, the velocity will be maximum. Okay. Therefore, here it is given that you have to find the ratio of maximum velocity to average velocity. So the velocity is maximum when r is equal to 0 in equation 3. So in this equation 3, the r should be equal to 0. Therefore, u maximum equal to minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x into r square. This is our equation 4, which is saying that the velocity, if the velocity has to be maximum in the circular pipe, therefore at that point r should be equal to 0. Okay. Now the next point is that you have to find the ratio of maximum velocity to average velocity. What is average velocity? Average velocity is the velocity which is flowing throughout the pipe. I don't know that what is the velocity at this point, or at this point, but I just know that the fluid is flowing at the center maximum. But you can see the variation. Here you can say it is 0, here it is some value like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then sorry, 5, then 4, 3, 2, 1, like this. Okay, because at the end it is going to be 0. I don't know what is the velocity which is completely flow, or what is the average velocity of the fluid, viscous fluid, which is flowing through the pipe. Okay, as I have told you that the velocity it is distributing, right? The velocity is distributing because at this point it is 0, it is 1, 2, 3, then here it is 4, then 3, 2, 1, then 0. So this average I want. So what will be the average velocity that we have to determine here? So the average velocity u bar is obtained by dividing the discharge of the fluid across the section by the area of the pipe, that is pi r square. Area of the pipe, that is pi r square. Remember, so as I have told, the discharge is q equal to area into velocity. I want the average velocity. So what we are going to divide? Q, discharge divided by the area, that is q by a equal to v equal to q by a. I'm going to divide this. So to obtain the velocity. So this we have discussed already, what I mean by discharge and all. Therefore, what we are going to do? The average velocity u bar is obtained by dividing the discharge of the fluid across the section by the area of the pipe, pi r square. So you are considering the circular element through a circular ring element of radius r and thickness dr. So this is the fluid element which we were discussing of radius r, and it is having a thickness of dr. It is having a thickness of dr, and from the center, what is there? The radius is capital R. Okay, so if this is the pipe, okay, and this there is a fluid element. Okay, it is having some thickness. So that thickness is dr. That thickness is dr. Okay, small dr. Okay, then this radius is r. So from the center, throughout the circular pipe, it is capital R. Okay. So now, if I calculate the discharge for that fluid element, if I integrate it, I'll be getting the discharge throughout the circular pipe. So the dq is the velocity at radius r and area of the ring element. So velocity at the radius r is u, and the area of the ring element will be 2 pi r dr. Area of the ring element will be 2 pi r dr. It is having some thickness. Okay. So now, so u is what? Minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x r square minus small r square. That is u into 2 pi r dr. This is our dq. The discharge which is flowing through the elementary ring. The discharge which is flowing through the elementary ring. Now, if I integrate it, I'll be getting the total discharge of the fluid which is flowing through the circular pipe. I'll be getting the total discharge of the fluid which is flowing through the circular pipe. So the total discharge will be between 0 to r, right? Because the circular pipe diameter is r. So I want the discharge throughout this pipe. So the discharge will be capital R. Okay. So now, okay. Okay. So now it is 0 to r dq. So I will just substitute the value of dq over here. 1 minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x r square minus r square into 2 pi r dr. So when I substitute, I have to integrate with respect to 0 to r. Okay. So 1 by 4 mu minus 1 by 4 mu minus dou p by dou x into 2 pi. That is, these all are constant. Minus 1 by 4 mu dou p by dou x. Then the 2 pi are constant. Remaining change will be r square minus r square into r dr. Okay. Now, so you have to integrate with respect to r dr. Okay. 1 by 4 mu minus dou p by dou x into 2 pi, 0 to r. So I'll integrate it. I have multiplied r here inside, r square into r minus r into square r cube. R into square r cube. You can see here. I have multiplied r inside. So r square into r. Then I multiplied with r square. That is r cube. Okay, r cube into dr. So 1 by 4 mu minus dou p by dou x into 2 pi r square. When I integrate it, what it will be? R square into r square by 2. R square into r square by 2 minus r raised to 4 by 4. R raised to 4 by 4. Now, this r square, when I take in the limits from r to 0, this r square will become r raised to r capital R square. Therefore, r raised to 4 minus this will be r raised to 4 divided by 4. So after simplification, from here, after simplification, we get 1 by 4 mu minus dou p by dou x into 2 pi r raised to 4 by r square. r raised to 4 by r square. Okay, so answer will be like this. So what I have done, I have taken r raised to 4 by 2 minus r raised to 4 by 4 here. So this will be the equation. Then I have multiplied with it pi by 8 mu, because 4 into 2 8 mu minus dou p by dou x into r raised to 4. So you can see here in this part. So we have got an expression that is 1 by 4 mu minus dou p by dou x into 2 pi r raised to 4 by 2 minus r raised to 4 by 4. So I have taken LCM over here. I have got r raised to 4 by 4 into 2 pi. So I have taken it. We have got an expression like this: pi by 4 into 2 8 mu minus dou p by dou x r raised to 4. So this is an expression for average velocity u bar. Okay, now this u bar is nothing but q by area. What is q? We have got an expression for q, not q bar. We have got an expression for q, total q, discharge which is flowing through the circular pipe. Okay, now this discharge, if we divide it by area, so we are getting average velocity. So average velocity is nothing but q by area. So pi by 8 mu minus dou p by dou x into r raised to 4 raised to r raised to 4 divided by area is pi by r square. So when you substitute all the values, and when you get pi and pi will get cancelled, r square and r1 of the r square will get cancelled, so remaining will be r square. So what will remain? 1 by 8 mu minus dou p by dou x into r square. This is the final equation for average velocity. So now what we want the ratio of maximum velocity to the average velocity. So divide u max by u bar. So equation 4 by equation 5. So minus 4 by mu dou p by dou x r square divided by 1 by 8 mu dou p by dou x into r square. So r square and r square will get cancelled, dou p by dou x and will get cancelled because it is minus. Here also minus, it will become positive. Then it will be 1 by 4 mu divided mu and mu will get cancelled. So it will be total, it will be equal to 2. So finally we are getting an equation that u max by u bar is 2. So the ratio of maximum velocity to average velocity is 2, equal to 2. So this is our equation 6. So whatever equations I have written here, like maximum velocity, average velocity, the velocity equation, the shear stress equation, okay, and the ratio of average velocity to maximum velocity, these all are important from the problem's point of view. Okay, now we have to determine one more parameter, that is drop of pressure. Still we have not derived the Huygens-Poiseuille equation, which is the last equation. So that is drop of pressure. So in this, what is drop of pressure? The pressure has to drop throughout the pipe. It won't be same. Okay, the pressure will be dropping because of friction and all that. So we are considering two sections, P1 and P2. Okay, and P1 is at a distance x1 from the left side, and from the x2, P2 will be from x2 from the left side, as the fluid is flowing in from left to right. Okay. The distance between the sections will be length L. So from equation 5, whatever we have got, we are going to determine the pressure. Okay, pressure difference, dou p by dou x, like that. Okay, now from equation 5 we have u bar equal to 1 by 8 mu minus dou p by dou x capital R square. So minus dou p by dou x equal to 8 mu u bar divided by R square. So we integrate the above equation with respect to x. Integrate the above equation with respect to x. When we integrate it, integrating the above equation with respect to x. So integration of minus 1 by 2 dou p dp 1 by 2 8 mu u bar r square dx. Okay, so as it was integrated with respect to dx, so I have taken this dx here. Okay, dou p by dou x into dx. So minus p1 by p2, p1 minus p2, it will be minus itself because there is a minus sign. So p1 minus p2 equal to 8 mu u bar r square is constant, so it will be outside, x1 minus x2. So this dx is brought to x1 minus x2, integrated in terms of x1 minus x2. So p1 minus p2 8 mu u bar by r square equal to x2 minus into x2 minus x1. So I have taken this, converted this x2 minus x1, so it will be minus 1 minus from here and 1 minus from here will become plus. Okay, so here minus will get cancelled because there is one minus. If it is x1 minus x2, if I convert it to x2 minus x1, So it has there will be some another negative sign. So this negative sign and this negative sign will become positive. Okay. Fine. So now, so it will be 8 mu u bar by r square. This x2 minus x1 is capital L. This x2 minus x1 is capital L. We have seen the length between the sections 1 and 2. So x2 minus x1 is L. Okay. Therefore, so this we are substituting x2 minus x1 as L. So the equation will be 8 mu u bar divided by d square by 4 L. So the final equation will be y r square is converted into diameter, so d square by 4. So the final expression will be p1 minus p2 equal to 32 mu u bar L by d square, where p1 minus p2 is the drop of pressure and loss of pressure head is given by what? p1 minus p2 by rho g. p1 minus p2 by rho g equal to hf, that is head loss due to friction, equal to 32 mu u bar L divided by rho g d square. So this is an complete equation. This is UL, complete L. Okay. Complete L, not like it is U bar L. It is U bar is average velocity. So this is the final expression. Equation 7 is the final expression for Huygens-Poiseuille equation. Okay. So at this end, so here they may ask you derive the Huygens-Poiseuille equation. So you have to derive it till this point, or they may tell you to derive the shear stress distribution and the velocity distribution. So you have to derive this till this point. They may ask you to derive the ratio of, prove that the ratio of average velocity, maximum velocity, average velocity is 2. Or they may even give the ratio of average velocity to maximum velocity as 0.5 in a circular pipe. So you have to derive till everything this, then you have to go for this one. Okay. Or they may completely ask you to derive the Huygens-Poiseuille equation. So this equation is bit lengthy, so it requires more practice. Please practice it. Okay.